What do you get when a K-pop queen and an R&B legend lock eyes under the same spotlight? Whispers of romance, explosive chemistry, and a crowd that lost its mind. When Rosé and Bruno Mars shared the stage in LA, it wasn't just a duet. It felt like the universe shifted. One look, one note, and the internet exploded. So here's the real question. Was this a musical dream come true? Or the soft launch of something way deeper? The Deadline World Tour was already massive, but on day 2 in LA, it became history. Out of nowhere, Bruno Mars, yes, the Bruno Mars, stepped onto Rosé's stage. No announcement, no teaser, just pure shock. He hasn't guested at anyone's concert in nearly 8 years. But for Rosé, he flew in, showed up, and turned the stage into a fan fiction fantasy come to life. The song was called A PT. But the real story was in their glances, their smiles, the undeniable connection that made fans scream, cry, and question everything. Because let's be honest, this didn't feel like a one-time duet. It felt like a teaser for something bigger. And what happened after they left the stage? That's when things went wild. The duet was just the beginning. Backstage, a video surfaced. Rosé and Bruno laughing, joking, and vibing in a way that didn't feel staged. Bruno even jokingly called himself Hunk O Rama, and Rosé laughed like she'd heard it before. And then, Bruno's sister, Tiara, dropped a playful comment under Rosé's post. Where? Hunk O Rama incoming! The fandom exploded. Was this playful family banter? Or a subtle wink of approval? But it didn't stop there. Bruno himself commented, Hunk O Rama? Bullseye. Within minutes, hashtags like #Bruno Rose and #APT Stage lit up across the globe. Was it just innocent flirting or something way deeper? Stick around because what happened next might change Rosé's future forever. Let's talk impact. Bruno Mars is famously picky with his collaborations. He doesn't just show up, especially not unannounced. But for Rosé, he did. That single performance sparked a social media storm, industry buzz, and even rumors of a secret project between the two. One fan summed it up perfectly. Bruno hasn't performed with anyone in 8 years, but he did it for Rosé. Rosé looked completely at ease, smiling freely, joking with Bruno, even leaning her head toward him as they walked off stage. This wasn't just mutual respect. It looked like comfort, familiarity, something fans felt more than they could explain. And then G-Dragon entered the chat. Yes, G-Dragon liked Rosé's Instagram post from the concert. Fans immediately began speculating. Was this subtle support, jealousy, or something entirely different? The triangle of attention, Rosé, Bruno, GD, was enough to send K-pop Twitter into meltdown. But just when it felt like the story had reached its peak, the rumors started rolling in. What if we told you this whole thing might have been planned for months behind the scenes? Don't skip, because what you're about to hear might confirm every fan theory. Insiders began whispering almost immediately after the concert. This wasn't just an onstage surprise. It was a masterstroke, planned, polished, and perfectly timed. According to multiple industry sources, Rosé's agency and Bruno Mars's management team had been quietly working behind the scenes for months. Confidential emails, closed-door meetings, and yes, studio sessions. Some even claim Rosé and Bruno were spotted entering a private LA recording studio in the weeks leading up to the Deadline tour. So while fans were eagerly buying tour tickets, thinking they were in for just another unforgettable night of Rosé magic, the truth was something much bigger was already in motion. And if the rumors are true, this wasn't just a performance, it was a launchpad. A carefully crafted moment designed to shake up the global music scene and spark a new wave of Western Korean collaborations, led by two of the most magnetic artists alive. But here's where things get even more interesting. Just a few days before the concert, Rosé posted a cryptic story on Instagram, a simple heart emoji and a music note. No caption, no tags. At the time, fans thought it was just another aesthetic post. Now, that post feels like a warning shot, a subtle teaser that something massive was about to drop. Fans who brushed it off are now scrambling back through her story archive, trying to decode hidden meanings. And then came the media storm. Within hours of the performance, global outlets like Rolling Stone, Billboard, and NME had picked up the story. One headline read, "Rosé and Bruno Mars just delivered the crossover moment we didn't know we needed." Another simply said, "Bruno x Rosé, the performance that changed pop forever." And while fans were busy reliving every second on loop, dissecting every smile and every glance, a single comment from a high-ranking music executive threw gasoline on the fire. In an anonymous quote shared by Variety, one top-level producer said, "This wasn't just chemistry, this was strategy. And I wouldn't be surprised if a Rosé x Bruno joint album is already being mastered." Let that sink in. Not a single song, not a single feature, an entire album. Suddenly, this isn't just about stage vibes or viral fan edits. It's about the possibility that we just witnessed the soft launch of one of the biggest collaborations in modern music history. And if that wasn't enough to fuel the fire, a fan dug up an old 2018 interview where Rosé shyly admitted, "One of my ultimate dreams is to sing with Bruno Mars one day." Fast forward to now, and that dream didn't just come true, it exploded. So while the world's still catching its breath from this moment, behind the scenes, the gears may already be turning. Negotiations, producers, track lists, there could be so much happening that we haven't even begun to see. But buckle up, because what comes next might just make this concert look like a warm-up. The music industry has taken notice. R&B producers in the US are now reportedly courting Rosé for a full studio album. And yes, with Bruno Mars as a featured artist. Meanwhile, the Rosé fanbase exploded globally. On TikTok, people who'd never followed K-pop suddenly asked, "Who is she? How did she do that?" It wasn't just her talent, they were drawn to her presence, her aura, her emotional pull. And fans weren't just watching, they were participating. Fan art, memes, romantic edits, the nickname Brunzé. It all came flooding in. Some called this the moment Rosé officially transcended K-pop. From YG trainee to solo star to now Yuka, cultural icon. And as for Bruno, his brief appearance sent him trending in over 15 countries. Fans called it a renaissance moment, a reminder of why the world first fell in love with his magic. Together, they didn't just sing, they rewrote the rules of cross-genre collaboration. But the most emotional moment? It came quietly, off stage. In a fan-shot clip, Rosé is seen gently thanking Bruno, bowing deeply, then placing a hand to her heart as they part ways. She looked overwhelmed, in the best way. And right when you think you've seen it all, there's one moment fans missed. One frame that might reveal the truth about what really happened between them backstage. Rosé didn't need this moment to prove herself. She's already done that 1,000 times. But this duet, this was different. It was a statement. A reminder that connection, real, soul-deep connection, transcends language, genre, and borders. Bruno Mars and Rosé didn't just create a trending moment. They created a memory, a spark, a legacy in the making. And now, all eyes are locked on what comes next. Will they drop a studio duet? Will we see them together at an award show? Or was this lightning in a bottle, never to be repeated? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain. We just witnessed history. So tell us, was this just a performance? Or are we watching the start of something unforgettable? Drop your theories in the comments, smash that like button, and if you haven't already, hit subscribe. Because here at Idol Insider, we don't just cover the headlines. We bring you the stories behind the moments. And right now, 98% of our viewers aren't subscribed. So join the fam, stay ahead of the rumors, and never miss a heartbeat of K-pop's biggest breakthroughs. We're just getting started.